This is the episode 6 of World of Tea podcast, and we have Shannon here from Traceable Textiles.
Neighbor.
And neighbor, yeah, very close. Like I just walk by your shop every day almost.
Yeah.
And the conversation I think started. I remember first time I met you. You came in here. I was really interested in the property you purchased before.
Yeah.
And you told me, oh yeah, I just bought this property here, and we are Traceable Textiles. And I said, oh yeah, I've seen that. And you told me which property. And I was like, oh my God, I wanted to buy that property.
Yeah.
And and you so gracefully offered it to us. You were like, well, yeah, make me an offer.
Yeah. Well, I'm a proper. I do.
You have a
that
few
in my back
properties.
pocket. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So.
Other businesses, yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting, and you invited me actually to come in anytime, and very welcoming. Thank you for that. And I wanted to come in for a long time, but I was kind of like, oh, I should go in now. But every time I was passing by, I was like, but maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
And what happened was then all of a sudden I saw this post about your products were given to G7 leaders, the world leaders.
Yes. Yeah.
So like all the G7 country leaders have one of these blankets that Shannon makes.
Was that like recently when they came here?
Yeah, to the Canada
Very
baskets.
cool.
Yeah.
So
I can certainly unpack the story too.
for sure, I'll let you first give an introduction of yourself, your business, what it's about, and go from there and give us the whole story about G7 as well.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like, do you want the Genesis or do you want the elevator version?
Probably the Genesis, because we have some time,
Yeah, well, let's do it. It's kind of an interesting story. So I've been a weaver for very many years. I learned how to weave in northern Alberta, believe it or not. So there's
where in northern Alberta?
Grand Prairie,
Prairie.
Lake Saskatoon. There's a little community hall, and they, and also there's the Peace Country. Alberta is an interesting place because there's settlers all over from, when this became a province. So the Peace Country was a big place to settle because it had amazing land. It had lots of prairie land. And so you have these pockets of communities that have been settled for since 1905, some of them a little bit after, but essentially have a little bit of history. But they're so far apart, right? Everybody's it's an hour and a half generally to get to the next town. So, if you want to go to the center.
Yeah, far drive.
Exactly, it's a long drive. But what we do is because we're so far away, we've become very resourceful. So anybody that does weaving as a craft, we all gather together as the Peace Country. But anybody that lives along the Peace River, we all gather together. And we will get some of the most amazing instructors from the United States, from Canada, and we'll pool our resources and we'll have these instructors come in. And that's how I learned how to weave, was just by the fact that, again, being resourceful. It's just what we do in Alberta. We just have to make it happen. It's the way of this place. And that's partly kind of how this all happened too. I was working at Gather Textiles, doing my master weaving, and I had to do a thesis in the last year of the course. And it was a pandemic, and Kim said, I know that we can't have people come into the store, but maybe let's pivot and do a sale online, and let's invite some of the other makers that we know and have a sale that includes them as well. So we actually asked a woman, her name is Kalia Turner Beckman, to come and sell her yarn that she would source locally from farms in the area. So she brought it in, she had dyed it in all this beautiful onion skin dyed, and she packaged it beautifully. None of it sold. None of it, not even a one. And so I said to Kim, well, maybe we should weave with it. Maybe if we weave, we can sort of be the authority that says, yes, this is good for weaving and it's going to turn into a beautiful piece. And so when I wove with it, I was like, this is amazing. Because most people, especially weavers, relegate meat sheep to crappy wool. So they won't even touch it.
Oh, interesting.
They won't touch it at all. It's like rustic, they call it. But it wasn't. This was beautiful wool.
I mean, rustic can be good.
It can be, but if you want it next to skin, rustic also meant wiry and itchy too.
Oh,
right?
I see. I see.
Rustic is in, yeah.
Is there like,
derogatory.
because I was actually talking about to a friend, and we were talking about getting some suits made, and he was telling me, oh, I said I want a wool winter suit.
Yeah.
And he was saying, oh, that would get itchy. And I said, no, suits have liners inside or whatever.
Yeah.
But is there like, does it depend on the wool?
Absolutely. Depending on what kind of heritage breed you're talking about. Some is long wool. So generally when you're dealing with suiting material, especially the really fine, even the summer weight wool, or a gabardine, which is more of a heavy winter weight, or a crepe, which is another kind of weaving style, but using a really fine wool. That's usually long wool. Long wool is generally maybe 6 inches-ish longer, and it's the processing of that wool. So different wools for different things. Long wool is really great for worsted spun. So when you're spinning, because all of this, even if you look at this yarn, you can see that it's spun, it's plied together. I can unply it. I could even take it all apart. But it's a different kind of wool, and it's spun woolen style. And woolen style is this lofty, it's lots of insulation, and the purpose of that is because you want it warm. With suiting, you don't necessarily want this isn't going to look good. It's a suit jacket, I can assure you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see what.
Don't even go there, because it's not going to do. But if you get the right wool, and you spin it the right way, which we call worsted spun. So everything's in a line and it's spun and it's very, very fine. Then all of a sudden you weave with this beautiful, lustrous, fine, like this might be 8 ends per inch. You're talking maybe 30 ends per inch.
Okay,
or
so
40
I
ends
see
per
over
inch.
there you're holding in your hand. So thickness of this thread essentially
Exactly.
determines the texture of the
Precisely.
fabric.
Yeah,
And
yeah, exactly.
I'm actually it's something that not many people know about me. I am actually very fascinated with textures. Like my whole life I've been like that. When I sit in a new car or in a car that I've never been before, like a model of car or what, I always like to touch like all the things to see how they feel. And I'm sure a lot of people have that. No, you don't think so?
No,
I'm
that's
so
how
obsessed
people are.
with textures.
Yeah. Well, you should learn how to spin.
I
Learn how
actually
to spin. You would love it.
I would come to one of your workshops for
Yeah,
sure. I
yeah.
love to.
Yeah.
But not only the fabric either. Like we were. You see this box?
Yeah.
This is our advent calendar.
Yeah.
I designed it, and that one I just let our supplier just pick all the materials. I didn't even put that much thought into it. But then we decided to do basically with the same design principle,
Right.
but like a little bit different looking. Instead of 1 row and 2 rows, but when you open it, it has a little bit more of a luxury feel, and it has like a sampler box.
Yeah.
And when it came to that, I just recently was doing that, and I realized, you can choose the outside texture. It could feel like a leather.
Yes.
Or it could,
Yes.
outside texture of this box could be like, those
Suede-like.
purses where like they have crisscross,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
leather. You could make it like that.
Yeah.
Or you could go
Like a quilted look.
or
Oh, yeah.
all sorts of things, right?
Yeah, and paper is remarkable. The things you can do with paper is.
Yeah, it's fascinating, and
Yeah.
and like I basically frustrated my suppliers so much. I was so indecisive, and like at the end of the day, I ended up I'm like, no, I'm gonna buy like 4 different samples, and then I'm actually gonna feel it with my own hands.
Yes.
Here before I actually order it.
Yeah.
Because I want it to feel awesome, right?
Yeah. It's interesting, right? It's a sense that we don't really pay credence to, and it's even when you're trying to display these online, it's so hard to display what they feel like, right?
That's right,
the
yeah.
one thing you can smell and touch are such important parts of just the complete senses of a product, right?
Yeah, to really experience the product, let's say, right?
Well, even with tea, it must be like, how do you explain to somebody online what a tea tastes like? Or
Yeah, we really like,
right?
oh, chocolate notes, this, that, like,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you can't explain the smell. You know,
No,
you
it's
can't.
so hard.
It is hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, talking about tea, I'll start making you some tea as well.
Yeah.
So these are the teas Shannon picked. Sticky Rice Oolong is
Yeah.
one of them.
I love that
it's,
one,
It's
yeah.
one of the very popular ones.
Yeah.
And
It tastes like it's fortifying you
I actually
somehow.
haven't tried that one, but as soon as I started working here, I was like, that's the one I'm going to try.
Yeah. It is.
Very
It's
excited to try
delicious.
this
Yeah.
one.
no, it's very, very popular tea in the shop.
Especially at this time of day, right? It's a perfect tea for noon.
Oh, I would say, yeah, it's like a little bit savory, like,
Yeah. Kind of lunch tea.
yeah, totally.
Anyway, okay, so continuing on with the story.
I actually should cool this down a little bit.
So once I wove with it, I decided this was it. I was going to do this as my study. And so I worked with Kalia and we went to the farms and we worked with Gather. They were going to buy the yarn that I was going to engineer with Kalia because it was going to be specifically for weaving. And that's where it started. And the beautiful thing is that there's only two in North America. We have one of the oldest woolen mill style spinning mills in North America, and it's called Mule Spun. And what it is it looks like it's Industrial Revolution type equipment.
How do you spell that? Mule?
Yeah, M-U-L-E,
Okay, I'm just gonna
Spun.
look that
If you
up,
go
find a
to
picture of
Custom
that.
Woolen Mills and check it out, it's the coolest. You see them on like shows about weaving that are like from the mid 1800s. You'll see these mule spinners, but they replicate hand spun as close as anything that you can get. So we have this in Alberta. So it was just like, well,
Oh, wow. That looks, that
I know,
looks
doesn't it?
outdated.
It looks
I like it, though.
steampunk.
It does,
I know, right? Yeah,
Very
it's
cool.
the craziest place to go and
So
visit.
if you want to see, that's the machine she's talking about.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, it looks so
Very
industrial.
interesting.
I know.
Could you like actually snap a screenshot of that or something so we have it? So maybe we can actually edit it into the.
Yeah, it is. It's a really cool process. And because there's so few in North America, we actually get to provide the perfect blanket wool, right? It was just like, okay, we've got this.
Amazing.
Well, and often meat sheep fleeces are garbaged. They're burnt, they're buried in the field. In fact, I checked today and I was looking at my competitor, which is in New Brunswick, and their wool is very, very cheap, very inexpensive to buy. And I thought, why? How can they do this? And so then I went to we have only one collector of wool in Canada, and it's called the Canadian Co-op of Wool Growers, and it's down east. And what they do is they collect all the wool in Canada, they will grade it, and then they ship it to China to get processed for the most part. Some of it's sold in Canada, but for the most part, it's China. In 2022, China shut it down. They said, no, we don't want any more of your wool. So it's just been backing up. So today I went and checked online to see if anything had changed. And no, but I read in their annual report that they decided to pay the farmers out for the clip, which is what they call the sheared fleece, for 2022. Guess how much they were giving the farmers per pound?
How much?
10 cents.
Wow.
Per pound.
Per pound. So on average, a sheep has about 6 pounds of wool on it.
That's
and most of the
insane.
farmers that we
That's 60 cents
Not
a
even a
sheep.
dollar.
right?
That's not even $1 a sheep.
Right? It doesn't
Like
pay
I've
for
seen,
the shearing. It
so
doesn't-
I don't know anything about this.
Thank
like
you. Yeah.
so this is our sticky rice oolong. As you see, I poured the first wash because oolong leaves need to open, and it gives you the
okay.
better flavor. But I just wanted to say about the that under $1 a sheep wool is like. I don't know much about this, but I've seen in movies they shave the sheep.
Yeah.
It is quite a bit of work. Like
is,
it is
yeah.
way more than $1 worth of work.
I
To
know.
like to
Yeah.
shear a sheep.
shear a sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does not
I don't
pay
even
for the
know how
shearing.
I know what that means.
Yeah, it doesn't even pay for it. So essentially, the farmers,
Just give it away for free. So,
well,
like,
or
this-
burn it, bury it. Like a lot of them, I mean, we collect what we can, but we're looking for specific kinds of of characteristics in the wool. There's so much. I think Alberta is one of the. It's if it's not the second largest producer of meat sheep, it's the third. Like we are.
In the world or in Canada?
In Canada.
In Canada.
Yeah, Ontario's first.
Something that I think a lot of people, because I have family out east as well, and they've never been to Alberta. And it is one of those things I've always been inviting them to come. And sometimes it's due to my circumstances that they couldn't come and I couldn't have hosted them. Like there's once or twice that they actually did try to make the effort. But it hasn't happened yet. And I always try to tell them, like, this place is, you travel all over the world. They go everywhere. Europe, here, there. I'm like, the fact that you haven't seen Alberta is, like, you're missing out big time.
For Jasper.
Like Jasper, Banff, prairies.
Any lake, really. We've got a lot of beautiful lakes.
Yeah.
Beautiful lakes and beautiful scenery in Alberta.
And big sky.
If people, I don't know, some people know, we know in Alberta, but people from other places might not know. A lot of the beautiful movies you see with the Western scenes and with beautiful scenery, they're shot in Alberta. Yeah. Alberta, like Hollywood comes and shoots movies in Alberta. Alberta is so beautiful.
It is beautiful.
And
I agree.
and one of the things that I realized about Alberta living here, we have the biggest sky.
Yes.
We have this big, beautiful sky that like hit me instantly. When I came to Alberta, I just like, and my friends here, when the people who just got to know me, I was like so fascinated, so obsessed with the sky and how big it is because I'm from Tehran.
Yeah.
And I grew up in Tehran. And if you go outside your house in Tehran, everyone, first of all, there isn't many houses anymore.
Right.
Like only like there's very old houses left. Everything is big buildings, apartments now.
Yeah.
And when you come out of your house, like you can't see the sky in your in your sight line. In your sight line, you have to look up.
Wow.
And you have to really look up
because you don't really see the horizon.
Because it's a building, and then sky,
and
right?
And then you probably only see like a portion of the sky.
Yeah, you see a little little like a frame of a sky. Yeah. But here, like everywhere is sky, and it is beautiful. And I think people who live here their whole life, unless you've gone to some of those like big cities. Even if you go to Ontario, sky is pretty vast. But in Canada in general, but I think in Alberta we have
those vistas, right? Those prairie vistas. You know, a really good place to do that is, so if you travel from Edmonton to go up to Grand Prairie, it's, well, you get to Whitecourt and then it's bush, right? It's all the boreal forest. And then all of a sudden you get to Valley View and the whole valley opens up and then it's this huge sky. And it kind of hits you when you do that, right? Because you're just in the forest and then all of a sudden, boom, it's this big, huge prairie with this big prairie sky. And it just kind of takes your breath away when you get there. It's such a great, it's so
I just want to show you this for a second too. And now you see these leaves are expanding so much. So a second wash usually supposed to be the better one. Actually, this water has cooled down a little bit. It's in the thermos, so it shouldn't.
So you put a little bit in this, and then you.
No. I forgot to at the beginning. I forgot to put it in this.
Yeah.
I'm like for these teas, you're supposed to not make them with like boiling water.
Right.
85, 90 degrees is the best.
Yeah.
And I just try to move it from vessel to vessel sometimes to just like
cool it off a little bit.
Yeah.
It is delicious though. Man, it's good. So
I'm glad you like it.
Love it.
And and another thing about Alberta, I think that really over the years I've began to appreciate is how much the land has to give.
Yes.
Like we have amazing honey. We have. I mean, Canada is in general like a resource extracting country.
Yes.
Like I would say our economy depends a lot on extraction of resources, but Alberta is just a gift that keeps on giving. Like,
yes, I agree.
and Canada has benefited tremendously from this province, obviously over the years, and and I want to hear about how you source the your dyes and stuff, because that was a very
Also
interesting thing that I
fascinating too,
learned
yeah.
about the last time we were
Yeah.
talking.
Well, even just a side note when you say that, because I just did this presentation for Salvage for London Textile Month a week ago. And I was talking to them about the Homestead Act that was instituted in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And it was intended because what they had the CNR, they had the railway that they had built, and they wanted to settle the Western provinces specifically for that reason, to extract those resources and send them down east. So it has been our history and it's our mindset. And even when I was a kid, because I'm a third generation Albertan, so my grandmother was born here. For all my life, the market was too small. Like, oh no, you can't have a processing plant in Alberta because the market's too small. It was just this and it's much easier to extract and sell because we make more money doing that than taking the time to actually build up the infrastructure.
I think we had a conversation about this last time I met you, about how it has become almost impossible to produce things in Canada because we've lost the manufacturing power in a way that I don't know if we lost it, because I came to Canada in 2009. I'm sure we had more manufacturing.
We did, especially in
before.
Montreal, in Toronto, definitely. There was a big textile industry down east.
Okay, so I'm not aware of that, but like, I from what I understand is manufacturing have shifted to China and Asian countries around China. I think there's a lot of things happening in Vietnam, maybe Thailand.
Yeah.
And
now India, because
India too.
Just depending on the politics and the cost.
Yeah, exactly. And I find that's kind of depressing a little bit, because I feel like manufacturing gives us a little bit of power in terms of like controlling our own resources, benefiting more from our own resources, right? And I wish we could do more of that. And I admire and essentially I admire how you actually going against the current. You know, like you're swimming against the current. and
Welcome to my world.
but like it takes courage. It does.
Yes.
Because it's really easy to. I was telling you, like I didn't see the business case, and for example, in certain things I was doing in the past 5 years, and you were telling me at the end of the day, you know, I let you take it from here, because just hear it from you.
Yeah. No, but it is. It's kind of nice to have those conversations and find alignment in beliefs and values, which is so great. And that's why I'm here today, because that's really a big part of it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We see a lot of things that we want to talk about and share with people because it's possible. It is possible.
And I want to like hear from you, like how did you overcome that? Was there any fear that this might not work? How did you overcome that? Like, how did you decide, like, I'm going to, for people who don't have context, how much this blanket costs?
So it's $650.
$650.
Yeah.
So for a blanket, that is quite pricey.
It is.
And it's worth it.
Yes.
And because of what you're doing, in my opinion, and I was telling you, I want to buy one of those blankets for sure. And tell me what was the thinking process, and how did you decide that you were going to go for it?
Well, first of all, I think anxiety is the thing that keeps you awake and gets you up in the morning.
It does, yeah.
Yes, it does. So that's, it's also a reason to do something, right? If you have a passion for it, it really helps. But essentially, I'm from the province. I'm of a farm background, and the thing that was most flattering to hear was when somebody said, "Oh, you can make something out of nothing." That was like a testimonial of somebody that was industrious and also could see Thank you.
So that is the second wash.
Okay.
Well, essentially the third wash. First
Okay.
wash we threw out. Usually the second wash is the best wash, or the third
Tastes
wash.
so different.
A little bit different, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because leaves open up, and this is, I showed you the leaves how much
Yeah.
they opened up, and that's why I think. Which one do you like more?
Let me see. I think the leaves taste like it's more of a delicate, not so. This is way better. It's like,
The second one, the third one is
it's got
better.
more
I like the
layers
second
to
one
it.
too,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's way
You
more.
get like waves.
Exactly. And it's got this kind of nice, refreshing finish on the end of it, which is really nice
yeah.
too. Yeah.
Awesome.
Perfect. It's good choice.
I'll
yeah.
top. You have to drink faster though.
Oh, okay. Okay. no talking, just drink.
No. Talk and drink, but just
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
also
yeah.
drink.
Yeah, also drink at the same time.
Because we have to move through this season.
Okay, fair enough. Got it. So anyway, yeah, there's a lot of courage, but I had a deep pocket. I as I said before, like, you know,
You're in
have
real
another
estate, so
business.
you didn't you're not doing this for the money essentially.
No.
Like it's
No.
just a passion of it. Not just a passion. It's a business you built.
Yeah.
And now, if you stand, I guess if you stay behind it enough and
Exactly.
work with it, establish yourself as a brand that is recognized. I mean, now macarons are using your
my
blanket.
Yeah.
So hopefully people in France
Yeah.
will start trying to use the same blankets.
Exactly. Or even just, again, we talked about place, and I've talked to other people about really what does the land have to give you? What are the resources around you that you can use to create something? And it's just having enough of an open mind and courage, you're right, to say, hey, I've got this. We've got this great resource, custom woolen mills that can do exactly what we need to make luxury blankets. I've got the skills. I know how to weave. I can make something amazing. Now, it's not that. It's getting it in front of people's eyes, right?
Sorry, I'm just curious. The thing you're wearing, did you make that?
I wove it, yeah.
It is also,
Wow.
that's one of those nice
That's
textures I
awesome.
like.
I know, right? So it's linen and silk.
Can I ask how long like that shirt takes you to make? How long that took? Do you remember?
Not that long. No,
Like maybe a couple days.
I wove
Couple
it.
hours?
I wove the cloth in a afternoon. Like
Oh,
I
wow.
had to dress the loom,
That's
so
fast,
that took a
though,
little
yeah.
time. And then the next day we had a little sewing sort of class, and I just sewed it. It's
That's
very
awesome.
simple though, right? It's just like two.
If I tried to
seams,
make that though,
essentially.
that would take me like a month. That's
Well,
so
you know,
impressive.
there was somebody helping. I'm a weaver, but
Yeah.
sewing is maybe not as good. But anyway, no, but it's it's so comfortable. It's like linen and silk for hot weather, cold weather. Can't beat it.
Very nice, yeah.
But again, this is the advantage of building these skill sets up, is that I know now, like and my kids are so picky about, even when they go vintage shopping, they know to look for the wool. They know to look for the
Check the
cotton.
tags.
Oh yeah. I've trained them well because it matters. I don't want to wear plastic anymore.
Well, also like
Yeah.
the quality does matter because then it wears longer. You might have it an extra 10 years.
yeah, exactly.
Also like
And-
how you wash it.
And
Okay,
it
go ahead,
looks
sorry.
Oh no, that was it. Just like
Yeah,
how
yeah.
you wash it depends.
Yeah. Well, in wool, for example, you don't even have to wash. My neighbor that lives right next door to me is Scottish. She just moved in and she said, I've had woolens for 20 years that I haven't washed. You just put it out in the sunshine. And it's
Really?
Oh, this
microbial.
sun is just clean as the sun,
Yeah.
sunlight.
Yeah. And
Actually, we used to do that when I used to be in army. Back in the day, they would make us do that with our blankets.
really?
You had to put our every 2 weeks we had to bring up all our
That's so
blankets and everything
interesting.
and put it
Yeah.
in the sun, because you would get insects, and because
Yeah.
we were in barracks,
Of course,
and you would get insects in there and stuff, and they loved me. Like I would get bit. Like I would wake up with like my face like this. We call them, I don't know what they are. They're almost like bed bugs.
Oh, yeah.
And in the army it was pretty common in the barracks.
Of course.
And we had wool blankets, but not like this. They were much cheaper.
Of course. But they were wool because they're easier to take care of.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but they were itchy wool.
Yeah. Yeah,
And,
they're not great.
They're not great. No.
No.
And And I remember actually they made me cough.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah,
I
I
wonder if it was
had-
what they put in as far as processing.
I had it terrible when I was in army. I had horrible cough every single night,
Interesting.
and you know what, the military mentality there where I was is that get over it.
Yeah.
And I was going to the medics every like couple days, and they were essentially tired of me. They were like, "Why are you coming here?
Yeah.
Just cough." I guess.
Deal
I
with
don't
it.
just
Yeah.
deal with it. Yeah.
You're going to be coughing for
And they
until
would be
you get
like,
out
"Oh,
of it.
you again?"
Did you have to do a year? Like was it a year or two?
I had to 24 months.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was enough.
For me was. I was, it's very interesting. Although I should admit, I do now look back and treasure some of those memories.
Yeah.
Because I made friends there. I got to, one of the things that I think in army that was life-changing was you're stripped down regardless of your status
Yeah.
of like what kind of family you're from. We were a very middle class, not even a higher middle class, very, very middle class family. And when I went to army, I realized being middle class is a privilege. Like there was when they bring everyone and put them under the same, like doesn't matter what family you come from, where you come from.
Yeah.
And I think that was an experience that was very eye-opening for me.
Yeah.
Like
Interesting.
I met people that like we had rice in our home all the time, right? Like we ate rice almost every day. It was a very typical Persian dish.
Yeah.
Every Persian dish goes with rice, kind of like it's like
Yeah.
And like I met kids that were like, and army has horrible rice, like the rice we eat at home is not going
blankets
like.
of the rice.
I didn't eat the rice in the army actually, so
You're a
my
skinny man. You must have been.
no, like it's just
starving to death.
it's not that. Like I would bring rice from home and we would make our own rice in the barrack, and then they would bring the topping, and then we would eat our own rice. Some of us, right? Not everybody. Like there were kids there that one day because we had to go to a place and phone our families.
Right.
There wasn't no cell phones at the time, and I go to the phone booth one day. I'm standing in the line because you put a coin in, you have 2 minutes, you call your family, talk, and you have to move out the way because the next soldier everyone wants to phone their families.
Yeah.
So I'm standing in the line. This guy's in front of me talking to his family, and he's talking about. He is so stoked. He's telling his mom, you have no idea. They're feeding us rice here. And that was like so eye-opening for me. I was like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I'm not so bad.
I'm
Yeah.
not so bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you're stoked about the rice and army.
Yeah.
And it was a very interesting experience because then I became friends with all sorts of people.
Yeah.
That I
Didn't
wouldn't have
matter if
otherwise.
You were rich or poor. It was-
Exactly.
yeah,
And I think you wouldn't do that otherwise.
Yeah,
Because you're just like in your own echo chamber in a way, right?
Like
yeah,
meet
exactly.
Yeah, or
yeah.
like you hang out with people, like
Yeah, it's an interesting sort of
alike.
formative kind of experience, isn't it? Because it really does influence you and probably how you see the world, I guess.
totally. I think it brings you a lot of humility
Yeah.
to be in an environment like that. And I think humility is an underrated.
Yeah. Beowulf. There's,
it is.
Yeah. There's. Yeah. It's. Yeah. Being humble is not a bad thing.
It's a great thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It allows you to, I think, open up your mind
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
To
And be grateful.
to learning and be grateful and being grateful. That's another thing. I think gratitude actually perpetuates.
Yes.
Like in my opinion, since I've learned to forgive and learn to have gratitude in my life, like my life has become so much better.
Isn't it amazing?
Like
hey.
exponentially better. Like
Yeah.
like I could have never imagined just by that little mental switch,
Yeah.
you could like change your life.
Yeah, just changing the mirror.
Just try to appreciate the good things you have,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you realize, you know what? Like, yeah, there is some problems, there is a lot of challenges, but it's good to like pay attention to the things you have, the good
Yeah.
things you have in
The
your
beauty
life,
in
and
the world,
and
yeah.
once you, if you can like fall into that positive feedback loop instead of negative feedback loop, essentially,
Exactly.
I think that's where like I think life starts giving.
And you get to choose that, right? That's the thing.
It's a choice. It is a choice.
Yeah, you can see it in a negative way, but you can also see it in a positive way.
Someone said this to me, someone who I regard as a mentor, and said, "Look, like I was talking about something. I think it was something happened in the news or whatever, and I was like, well, like how like I can't even imagine, like what the hell is going?" And he says to me, he says, "You know, Solar, truth is not two-dimensional. It's like a sphere, and we see this part of it, but there is all the other parts." Good, bad, ugly, it's all of it is in it. You can choose what to look at. You can choose what to let into your life.
Yeah.
You can choose what to focus on, right?
Yeah.
And
That's
if
a
you want to
really good
spend your
analogy.
time
Yeah.
focusing on the horrible things, essentially then your life will be full of horror.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you spend your time focusing on the positive things, what are you filling up your cup with?
Exactly.
So
Yeah, what are you feeding yourself, right?
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah, and I totally agree with that. And it is definitely part of how I see, even, I have a really cute little story. My grandmother was a weaver. She was from Sweden. And they actually grew flax. So like she was born in 1888. She was an old lady when I knew her. But my mom always said, you know, Hilma, my grandma's name was Hilma.
what a beautiful name.
Yeah.
Hilma.
Hilma. Well, we didn't think it was so beautiful. She was kind of.
But you were used to it.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
me, it
that's true.
sounds nice and exotic.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
from
you don't
here.
hear it every day though.
No, you don't. It's
No, it's a
definite.
unique name.
Yeah. My dad's name was Roland, but his middle name was Devonis. I don't know where they
Devonis.
came up with these names. Anyway, my mom said, you know, Hilma, and she would take us as kids. We'd go down just the road, because we had this little gravel road, and she would just pick all the wildflowers, and she'd bring them back, and she'd put them in a vase. And my mom would say, that woman can take the ugliest weed and make it into the most beautiful display of flowers. And that's like, it always stays with me, right? Again, it's how you look at it. And even seeing the tansy, which is, I've got tansy here. Tansy, the noxious weed that kills, like it's, for cows and for sheep, it's a weed that will actually, if they eat it, they will abort their babies. It's actually something that you can take to miscarry. But man, it makes the best dye.
And it just like grows naturally here though?
It grows. You'll see it
Everywhere.
everywhere. Yeah, it looks like a weed. It's got these little button
Sorry,
flowers.
what did you say? Tansine?
Tansy. You can even look it up.
Yeah, see if we
Yeah.
can find a picture of that.
Yeah. But you know what? It's a fantastic.
This
dye.
is a beautiful color.
Yeah.
And these both are from Tansy?
Yes. So
this is like a first wash, second wash?
That's right. So this is the first strike, and then
That's what you said. What do you say?
well, it's the pure form, right?
Yeah,
and then
I've
this is
definitely
the
seen that
exhaust
before.
bath.
Yeah, but you said first
Strike.
strike?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So, when
I said wash
it
because we
brass.
do first wash, second wash with the
It's
tea.
the
Like
same
it's the
idea,
same
though.
idea
It
essentially,
is.
right?
Yeah,
First
yeah.
Or if
strike.
you wanna-
I could call it
that's
the first wash.
tansy.
Yeah, there's the tansy. Everybody's seen it. It's always
It's everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that before.
Beautiful color.
Yeah,
This,
and then we'll overdye it with
this is one of my favorite colors actually. Like I already loved this color before I saw this, but
yeah. Isn't it just such
it's
a bright,
like
happy
a
color? Yeah.
What do you call this color? It's
It's-
like a phosphorus green type thing.
Yeah,
a
yeah.
little bit.
It's just definitely a very bright. We
I'd
call it a
that, like,
bright yellow.
Bumblebee
Bright yellow.
Yeah.
I'm colorblind, by the way. Like I'm a red green colorblind.
Ah.
And so I have a
So
hard
you
time.
see it as green.
I
or-
see this a little bit green. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
it is
interesting,
actually
yeah.
probably. Yeah.
It is a little green.
Well, it's definitely a cooler, or it's a warmer, not a cooler side, right? So
I like how
but
you
can
explain
see it.
color.
But you can even see it in, like, if you look at it on the side, you can You can imagine green in there, like
I
in
could see it a little bit,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, for sure.
And then how many strikes you do? Usually
So
only
this-
2, or is there
So
a third?
Tansy gives us 2. Like we can exhaust. We call it the exhaust bath because what we want to do is exhaust all the dye. So we want to just keep putting in yarn until all that dye is taken up. But generally, Tansy will give us 2, and then there's Coreopsis. You can look this one up. Coreopsis is
Coreopsis. While you're looking that up, I talk about the tea we're drinking.
Yeah.
Herbal ginger peach and Shannon. Did you
I liked
enjoy?
it. Yeah,
You
it's
liked
nice.
it? It is. This one has rosehip and hibiscus, apple, peach, ginger, chamomile, and natural flavors. It says, which I imagine probably is peach flavor.
Yeah. This would make really good iced tea.
It does.
Yeah.
It is one of our best iced teas
Yeah,
for sure.
Make a really nice sorbet, like an ice, like a.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love
Totally.
making ice cream. So I'm all about that.
We are actually in the process of trying to figure out a couple of iced tea drinks
Cool.
that we could sell actually cold.
Right. There's the Coreopsis.
That's it.
That's a
That one's
beautiful
very
flower.
pretty.
Yeah,
I like that one.
And it gives. It's
Yeah,
just. I
very
just
pretty.
throw it in the backyard, and then it just self seeds year after year after
Oh,
year.
okay.
So I
It's
don't
just-
have to plant it again and again. So, Coreopsis.
Oh, I
is-
love that color.
I know, right?
Ah.
It is a crazy thing.
Your
So,
hand cam.
so here we go. There. Let's see if I have another. This could be three sets of. This is really a heavy.
Oh, this is 3 strikes.
3 strikes, yeah. Now, here's the crazy thing about Coreopsis. You can modify all dyes, and that means you can change the alkalinity, or you can add modifiers like iron or copper. It changes the color. So this would probably have been maybe something very close to this as far as the original. Just add a little
sorry,
bit of.
I got confused. Is this the tansy or
That's the Coreopsis.
both of them?
These are all
All
Coreopsis.
Oh, you took the
And you
tansies
just
out.
added
Yeah,
stuff
the
to
tansy.
them
Okay.
to like change them.
Yeah, so
basically?
this is just with a little
Oh,
bit of
this
vinegar.
is just different shades of Coreopsis.
Yep.
That's so cool.
And
So this
and
is
different. How many strikes you get out of it?
3 generally.
strikes,
we can
okay.
get 3. We get 2 good strong ones, but we have in the past gotten 3 as well. So there you go. And we call it carrot because we think it looks like carrots.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and that's what's in this particular blanket. But then look at this absolutely gorgeous color. I did this the other day. This is the exhaust. That coral is soda ash. So you just change the alkalinity. It's like washing soda. And you just
Oh, you add.
you just we call it modifying. So you just at the very end after you've finished dyeing, then we'll put it in
This
a bath.
is with soda. This is without.
That's right.
Is that like baking soda or
Soda ash is washing soda.
washing soda?
Yeah, or it's ash that you can take from like wood ash, and you just you
Mm-hmm.
can. I think you leave it for a couple of weeks, and then you drain off the ashes, and you can use.
Is that like an old way of washing things? Okay, like I have no idea
soap
what
is
it
made
is.
out of ash, right?
Oh,
Lye.
Oh, yeah.
Right, lye
okay.
and-
I've heard
and ash.
lye, but
Yeah. Lye and ash make soap.
uh-huh.
Hard soap.
Oh, well, when you say ash, like literally, like
Ashes.
burn wood and take the ashes.
that's so
Okay,
interesting.
okay.
You would think that would just like char something, turn it black.
Yeah.
No, because ash is not black though. Ash is kind of gray,
it's
isn't
like
it?
It kind of depends
Yeah.
what you
Ash
put in,
color.
Well,
yeah.
and what you're doing is you're sifting it out, but what you're left is with the alkalinity of that ash, and that alkalinity modifies. So that's why you get all these crazy colors, right? I think this one might be the petals, and this one might be the centers, because my employee Kylie just loves doing this. So she's like, "Oh, what will it look like if we just do the petals? Oh, so we have this big dye book now, and it's just this wonderful way of doing very similar things, right? Like mixing things and creating our own.
Yeah,
special
blend
colors.
of like to achieve a color. We do that to achieve a flavor, essentially, right? Joe, do you mind turning down that music a little bit? Like, turn it down properly, because
So this.
I don't think our mics will pick it up, but it's a little bit loud over our conversation.
So this is a green. This is a green that one of my I've got a custom
Oh,
order.
this is a beautiful green too.
They love that green. It's a
I love it.
high-end. It's a high-end gift
color
store.
green would you call that? Like olive?
It's it's a little bit olive, but it's almost like it's a green base, but it's definitely I guess you would
it's
say
an interesting
olive.
color. I
Yeah,
like it,
is.
but yeah, you don't really
it's,
see
It's so
that
what it
very
is
often.
this one is over dyed, we call it. So there's modifying where you take the color, you add an alkaline or maybe a iron will sadden it. It'll make it a little bit kind of green, like a very deep olive green. But sometimes we'll over dye. So if we have a ton of this exhaust and we're like, we got to do something with it, we'll throw it in a bath of indigo, which is the blue, and we'll just dip it, and then it will come out. And the indigo has this way of just attaching to the yarn to create this variegated effect that makes it look really interesting and different. So all of these things are great to do, but we also have to be able to recreate them if we want to if we're wanting to do
To have
That's the biggest thing I've
consistent, like-
seen with like art in general is you didn't mix enough
So
of that
do you make a
paint.
recipe?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is totally recorded. Now we're like every variable that we
See,
can
that's so
think of.
fascinating. We like it is. There is so much crossover of like we do the same thing. We try to make a
know it.
recipe, blend
Yeah.
things to achieve a flavor. You do the same thing to achieve a color.
Yeah, isn't that just
And
outrageous?
I'm sure like if you think about like different senses, essentially
Yeah.
the taste. I did that in restaurant when I was cooking,
Creating those layers, or- yeah.
when you make music,
Yeah.
you essentially mixing sound, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it
Yeah,
is.
it's so. I mean, you could spend your whole lifetime just delving into some one small little thing and just
That is true, and I think that is one of the things that I'm most fascinated with humanity
Yeah.
is that how much we have how much we have gotten into different disciplines and how much we have developed different disciplines.
yeah.
And when you think about it, when you think about complexity of the things that humans can produce,
Yeah.
it is incredibly fascinating because like humans can produce these like extremely complex things. So for example, a car has like hundreds. Someone told me, I was at the mechanic shop, and when they told me this, I was like, really? Said, yeah, your car has 160,000 components.
wow.
And I was like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
Who
I'm.
came up with
Can you actually Google that? Because someone told me that in
How
mechanic
many
shop.
components?
Yeah, how many components a modern car has. And I was like, wow. And like, or like, I'm very fascinated with cameras, I make
Yeah.
videos and stuff
Yeah.
or do these podcasts and we have quite a few cameras around here and like, or our phones
Yeah.
are such complex devices.
Yeah.
And like, you get into something like this, and I was just thinking about it when you were talking about the wool and the different ways of weaving it and all of the different ways of coloring it, and
Yeah.
like you could spend a whole lifetime on one discipline.
Yes.
And still not be.
You can't even touch the surface of it in so
It
many
still be
ways.
just scratching the surface.
I had a friend who's like an amazing weaver, and she said no one ever masters weaving because there's so many different ways of weaving that you can't be a master of it all. You can maybe pick one small thing, and that's the thing that you will have more information than most people.
That is amazing. And this is Moroccan mint, by the
Okay.
way, I'm making. It's the next one.
Let me. I gotta.
You have a little bit of time.
While you're
so-
finishing that, I googled our components in a modern car, and this is according to Google.
Yeah.
But Google says about 30,000 to 40,000 individual parts, counting nuts,
So
bolts.
I imagine
small
maybe
pieces.
some cars that are like way more
But
complex.
yeah, I don't
maybe
know.
that's the average.
maybe
And
depends
even
if your
a
car is
part might
electric
have
or
5
something too.
components.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't 40,000 is a lot?
It's still a lot.
That's a lot to think about, to come up with, right? You're right. The human
Yeah.
brain it's pretty darn fascinating.
And then you look at all the other species and they haven't made anything.
But
Well,
they're
no,
here.
that's not true.
Yeah,
Like,
that's right. The
no,
have
the
made
bees make honey.
They're pretty
Yeah,
cool. And,
they're pretty cool.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
I
What,
do like
what
milk a
else
lot.
animals make?
I think
Milk is
magpies or crows. I think they use tools to open nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think one of
but
them
like
will.
when
What they make, I mean,
it's
milk,
it's very
milk is
But I
pretty
guess,
cool.
yeah, they don't make
like,
it.
Yeah.
They just use.
Tea, the
Tea.
leaves that you get, like how does that happen, right? Like
Yeah.
nature is also
Nature,
pretty
nature is
remarkable.
pretty fascinating. That is true. That is true. But humans have like it is so fascinating how much we
Yeah. How we can take these disparate things and put them together into something so amazing. Like who would have ever thought to come up with, like even like a phone that you can take a video and talk to somebody else. Like my parents would have just been like, what?
Yeah, if I told my grandpa, who died in 2002, I believe. If I told my grandpa, because at the time in Iran, I know cell phones in 2002 no, there was cell phones. There was no smartphones at the time, right?
They were still like the
Because
bricks.
Yeah,
and when I
exactly.
remember when my grandpa passed away, only my father had a cell phone in our whole family, and because he was a businessman and whatnot, so he was the only one had cell phone. And I was telling Sarah the other day, I was like, if I told my grandpa that you will not need to remember any phone number, any address.
Yeah.
You will just pick up your cell phone and tell it where you want to go, and it'll tell you, go to the right, go to the left, go straight,
Yeah.
Turn left on the light, and then it'll take you where you want. He would be like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah. This is impossible.
Impossible.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
it's possible.
It is not only possible, like we've gone way beyond that now. Now we have the
Yeah.
like essentially I don't need like with one computer you can do so much with
you
the
need is
AI
phone.
now, and like
Yeah.
you can essentially do anything with AI with like
yeah.
writing or doing research, and I know it's not perfect, but imagine what it'll become in 10 years.
I was just going to say that. It's just the fact that we don't even have the capacity to know how it's going to evolve. Like even when the internet came online, right? I remember listening on, years ago, it would have probably been in 1990, 1991. It was like, oh, we have this thing called the World Wide Web. And everybody was thinking, oh, that's kind of cool, better way, easier communication. Nobody had an idea that social media was going to be such a part of the internet. It wasn't even totally out of our, like, nobody even would have even guessed it until all of a sudden it took.
It took, yeah.
And not only did it take, but it took over.
Blew up.
Yeah, it
Like,
changed our lives in a way
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
like, I remember when I was a kid, and I lived with my grandpa. That's why he has a very special place in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I lived for a long time with my grandma and grandpa, and I remember someone would just knock on the door, and we wouldn't know who it is, like in the middle of the day, and that would happen few times a week. And my grandpa would be like, "Oh, let's go see who's coming, who's knocking on the door. Or
So
we might have a
excited.
guest. Hey, do you have something to serve?" To my grandma, like,
Yeah.
make sure we have something to serve. Like, he would get excited, open the door. If someone unannounced knock on your door these days, I
Yeah, you
think
wouldn't
people
answer the door,
like
right?
people
Yeah.
like what?
Yeah. What do you want?
Leave it at
Yeah.
the door. I'll be there. in a
Yeah,
minute.
What are you thinking showing up at my house?
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't know. I don't like it, to be honest with you. I feel like I want to be excited, but it's still like, even myself, I feel like although I say that
Yeah.
and I want to do that,
Yeah.
even if someone knocked on the door unannounced right now, I would kind of like, it takes me a little second to
you
like,
just and you wouldn't
I
be
was like,
you
okay.
wouldn't be necessarily feeding them and inviting them in for hours.
Yeah, it is different
It
now.
is different. It is.
And I think, like, for example, like I told one of my cousins, I remember a few years back, I don't know what the context was, but I said something like, "Oh, well, you don't know much about me. You don't call that much. Like call a couple times a year maybe or whatever. And she turns around and is like, I see you every day on Instagram.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then that clicked for me in a second. I was like,
You
so
know who I am
like
based on
is
what
that
post
the
every
is that the
day.
expectation now that I have to
Yes.
put everything on Instagram, otherwise,
Yeah.
or how does it? Yeah.
I know. I found out my cousin had cancer on Reddit.
Reddit.
Yeah, they're
Wow.
Yeah, they're popular people. I'm related to somebody that's very controversial. Yeah, but and I was shocked. I was like, so I phoned her sister and I said, like, how did I not know? Because this was a cousin I grew up with. We were childhood, like my sister, myself, and my cousin. We were thick as thieves as kids, considered best friends. I was in her wedding party. I had no idea. And my cousin said, "Oh, I thought you would have seen it on Facebook." And I said, I have to know about somebody that I love being mortally ill on Facebook? Nobody would bother reaching out? I said, I guess I better get back on Facebook again to find out what's going on.
What else is up?
here. Yeah. Oh, I was just like, is this what we've come to? That this is how we
Yes.
know our family? Like, you're right. It just gives me this,
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't want to live in a world like that. I want to feel comfortable. I love talking to people. I love face to face. And my dad was like this, people first. Always people first. Don't put things first, put people first.
Yeah, that's true, and I think this really hit me during the COVID when the restaurant closed. I essentially what it was, we opened the restaurant with a lot of financial pressure.
Yeah.
And I went into a lot of debt opening the restaurant. We were on our third year when COVID happened. And we were just starting to kind of like take, and money was a little bit better, and I was starting to pay off some of that debt, and and all of a sudden COVID happened and everything shut down.
Just like the rug is just taken
yeah,
over.
and then I think a lot of people who don't own businesses might not realize this, but like a business is earning and spending constantly, right? So I have a lot of outstanding bills from my suppliers. I have to pay my staff every couple of weeks, and so yes, money comes in, money goes out, and after everyone gets paid, including the government, then you take money if anything is left, right?
Yeah, right.
And
usually you take it in like, oh, maybe if you buy pots that month, you get a pot for yourself.
So the thing is, I realized was like essentially you have to become a different person.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to like live on really small resources at the beginning of your business and get through that tremendous pain to get the payoff at the end. Hopefully, hope is that you'll get the payoff. And most businesses don't get the payoff, actually.
That's true. Do you think it was like, is the magic number like 3 years, or like what do you
For
think?
us at the time, I think for every business it could be a little bit different. I think
yeah.
for us 3 years was starting to catch because we were.
Thank you.
What happened was, I think it's also what happens in your journey a little bit. What happened was we won the best restaurant at the Taste of Edmonton in 2019. I basically became the best chef at the Taste of Edmonton, and that really put our name out there.
Right.
And on that year, the Taste of Edmonton had one of its best years. It was at the Ledge Grounds.
Yeah.
And phenomenal restaurants were there at that year, like some of the best restaurants in the city.
Range
and
Road and
like there's all these like there's a lot of there was like Hotel McDonald was there, and there was a lot of, I remember a few really good restaurants. Wishbone was there. Like there was a lot of good restaurants. And then what happened was when COVID happened, every revenue stopped instantly.
Yeah.
So the day we shut down thinking we're going to open in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
that was the day revenue stopped. But I had a lot of outstanding invoices. I tell you something interesting. I had one staff member, which I really liked her. Like she was one of the best like employees we've ever had. She's such a nice person, and I couldn't get really mad at her because she essentially what she did was a good thing in her mind, and so she banked all her paychecks.
Oh.
She didn't cash them for a whole year.
Oh no.
Thinking that would help you guys,
So-
kind of.
and no, not that she was helping us. No, she was saving her money.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She was like, "Oh, if I don't cash it, I don't spend it."
Oh my God.
And,
Oh, no.
And in a way, I couldn't like get mad at her
I
because
know,
like I was
because-
like, you know what? If it was my own daughter, I would be like, okay, good for you. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
like,
right. I'm proud of you, but
Yeah, like and I did have a like I did have a feeling of like a little bit of a like a older brother for her,
Yeah, yeah,
because like
yeah.
she was such a good kid,
man.
and I was always so excited about her because I was like, oh, she's gonna be such an amazing person, and
oh, the result though, the
and
pit in your stomach.
and it was around like all of a sudden I had to pay her $6,000 or $10,000 or something like that. I don't remember.
enough that would just
Yeah, and
break
we
you.
did it. I it was my dad. Like I mean, like she worked for it. Like you're
Of
not
course,
gonna
you're not gonna
It's
be
just
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
at once.
yeah.
and then so yeah, that's how business is. And then when
that is
when
how
everything is
business is.
stopped, we really had to again start all over again.
Yeah, yeah.
Like and then go back even more debt.
Yeah.
Essentially, government told us, oh, you can get money, get help, but that was a loan,
Yeah.
right? And
wasn't completely-
we paid it back. And now I'm realizing a lot of the restaurants didn't pay it back. And apparently, I shut down my restaurant.
Yeah.
I still paid the government back.
Wow.
And
A
so,
lot of others didn't.
no, it's a lot of I know actually a few businesses because I was in the industry.
I know.
I'm aware of few businesses, and I'm not going to name any names, but they essentially just changed the name of their restaurant and said, oh, we ran out of business. And they opened a new one.
Yeah.
And they like got away with it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
as
Oh,
per
yeah.
se,
Yeah.
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 And I mean, you can. Right?
They're still writing them emails and stuff, but they're not
Yeah.
paying them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what we get to this?
Starting out, like how many years it took to sort of get to the point where you felt like, okay, this business has traction. I can start making some money.
Yeah.
Like, where's the payback? When's
No,
the
I was trying to tell you during the COVID.
I'm interviewing now.
No, I totally lost the train of thought. But like I was trying to say that I realized something during the COVID, and yeah, I totally lost that. So let's move on to something.
Yeah. But it is. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are starting businesses that are very niche that want to know. Like for me, I want to know, what is it that you need to do in order to try, like what are the tips and tricks? What are the hacks of trying to get yourself out in public? What do you, like, is it marketing? Do you have to spend the money on the marketing, or is it just being so tied to Instagram? Do you have to be a really good writer? Like what is it that's going to get you in front of the audience you need to get in front of in order to start making money? Because as much as I love the fact that I do something that I'm very passionate about, I still need to pay people.
That is true.
And it's really about, business is not easy. It is not. It's all cash flow all the time. That's all I think about, what's going in, what's coming out. And I know that you know that too, right? It is really about, that's what
It
you
is,
think
yeah.
about nonstop. And it really can keep you up at night if you're worried about,
So what I found is like money was stressing us out after COVID, especially obviously.
Yeah.
But there was a point that I was like, you know what? I spoke to Sarah and I was like, we need to stop thinking about the negative part of like, oh, like what are we gonna do? Let's just take action.
Yeah.
Let's just do something.
Yeah.
And think about just next day do something else. And just let's not think about what if things don't work.
Yeah.
Think about how are we going to make things work
That's a great
tomorrow.
tip.
So
Yeah.
and I think that's when things a little bit started again
Yeah.
changing for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
That another thing in business that I realized was I had always this fear of overpricing things
Yes.
or like like, and because of that, not only I didn't make much money, I lost money sometimes.
Yeah.
And because you always, no matter how much you try to calculate like the cost of things, there's unforeseens, and then you realize it always costs a little bit more.
Yes.
And when you essentially leave yourself so little margin, you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
Because
You're not going to sustain yourself.
yeah, you're not going to sustain yourself.
Yeah.
And also, you're not going to be able to known for quality.
Yeah.
You won't be known for quality. You'll be known for being cheap.
Yeah. Yeah.
And-
And the
and-
race to the bottom, as they say.
It is exactly, and
Yeah.
then you're competing with all the other cheapies.
Yeah.
And that was one thing that clicked for me. I was like, okay, like I don't want to. I'm not trying to be expensive,
No.
but hey, let's make quality stuff
Yeah, yeah.
that people really want.
Yeah.
And I just thought, like, I'm willing to pay a little bit more for quality. I'm willing to pay for something, like let's say this blanket you pay $650 for, but how long does it last?
Past your lifetime.
Yeah, you can hand it down to the next generation.
Absolutely.
And something like that. Whereas like you go buy, some blanket at the Walmart, and then like in 8 months, in 2 years,
Yeah. It's falling apart.
It's falling apart. You have to like throw it away, and it's that like almost a fast fashion, but on
Yeah.
the blankets.
Well, and it's still generally plastic based.
That's another thing I think people who don't like get the quality stuff. I feel like sometimes you don't even know what it
Yeah.
feels like.
Yeah.
You're so used to this plasticky stuff. So say, for example, I'm very picky about my socks and how they feel. Again, I'm obsessed with textures.
Yeah.
And Sarah, funny enough, she started just wearing my socks, and and I would just be like, "What the hell? Why my socks are?" And she's like, "Your socks are always better." And I'm like, "Yeah, because I pay attention to their material,
Yeah.
because it's the plastic stuff
I
just
know.
like makes you feel foot feel like."
Sweaty, gross.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like it's just
yeah.
so
Well,
so
and even
interesting.
to try and find good socks, man, it is hard.
It is hard. Oh my god.
Yeah, we could have a whole podcast. About
Although that I know my socks, last time I went, because Sarah said, "Go buy me some of those socks." So I went and failed hard. Apparently, they don't make them for girls. There we go. Sorry.
Yeah.
Apparently, they don't make them like.
Yeah, I know.
You can get
women's
better socks for men, and I think, and another thing Sarah was always upset with is like, women's pants don't have pockets.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Either fake pockets that look like pockets,
so short.
pockets that are.
Why would you have fake
Because
pockets?
it looks like a pocket.
Yeah, because
Because ladies are not supposed to like.
Yeah.
Well, pockets are like
Pockets are a whole thing. For
Yeah,
girls.
that's right. For women, pockets are like
Yeah.
yeah.
A dress
there's
with
whole
pockets is like,
political
oh my
issue about
God.
Pockets.
Political.
Yes, because you could hide things in pockets.
Okay, tell me about that.
You didn't
I-
want
I-
women.
now I-
Oh yeah, you'll have to go online and look at it. But yeah, pockets were kind of like
Frowned upon.
oh,
I actually never
absolutely.
Like,
heard about
okay,
that.
back in the day, like.
look it up. Yeah.
Yeah, look it up. Look that up.
There's even books about how pockets were not allowed for women.
And okay, tell me why.
I think it was because there was suspicion that they would be essentially maybe carrying things that they weren't allowed, because there was such strict social sort of protocol or,
Oh, okay.
rigid
It's
things that-
before the women's right was a thing.
Absolutely. In fact, that was one of the things that was part of the suffragette movement.
Interestingly enough, I heard something about it, and how women got around that. They carried pouches inside their clothes.
Yeah. They would have
Is
these
it-
other ways of making it. Yeah, they would sneak the pockets in. so they would, yeah.
Oh my God! Yeah, that I heard that somewhere. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, even pockets. So it's still an issue with pockets. I said to my son, like, even if I go walk my dog, sometimes, like, I don't have a place to put my phone. Because I don't have a pocket in my pants or my dress. Dresses without pockets.
All right. Here I found, so like during the French Revolution, rumors that women's pockets were banished to prevent them from concealing revolutionary material.
Right. So, like, if you were passing around postcards or something.
And also, along with that, back when, like, the men had the money, the women, they're like, why do they need pockets?
Yeah.
The men has all the money.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's all sorts of different reasons. I think there's even a book about pockets.
Well, I have news for you folks. Shannon here has deep pockets. She just told us.
Only one, and it's going fast. It's shortening as I speak.
This blanket's.
I know. These are the pockets now. Every pocket, yeah.
So anyway, Shannon, I think we could like go on forever.
I've got as many questions for you as you have for me.
and we should definitely do this again. I think there's so much more to talk about. But as you know, we have to end this somewhere. Thank you so much for joining us.
Solar, thank you for inviting me. That was just very.
Yeah, you're welcome. From the first moment we connected, I felt something.
Yeah.
I felt like there's a lot to.
A kinship. Yes.
Yes. Very.
It's just nice to find people that have a value system that's not just about making money, or where value equals money. Like, that's just such a big part of our world.
And it doesn't for me. And it is. I mean, I know the importance of financials and money, but at the same time, I am also very passion driven, and I think. I find meaning more in learning things and being able to share with people and
that's a rich life, right?
It is.
Yeah.
And being rich, that's why I guess being rich is a mentality.
We like to think so. We still have our mortgages to pay.
That is true. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
It was amazing having you on.
Thanks, everyone. Even the people in the back.
Yes, Joe and Braden joined the podcast. Braden joined us. He's shooting the podcast, and he'll be behind the scenes. And Joe as well will do a lot of admin stuff and helping me and Braden as well. And we're excited about future podcasts, and we'll have you. I'm gonna make a promise that you're gonna come back.
Oh, I absolutely can. Well, I love tea.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Shannon.
Thanks so much. Yeah, thanks.
This is the end of this episode.